Hi, hello children. How are you all? Welcome back to my class. Today in this class we are going to study about your sixth lesson of EVS, that is each drop. Here drop in the sense we are going to study about the water. Okay. So children, what is this? Yes, it's a water, right? So without water living organisms cannot survive. So water is very precious. We need water. Yes or no? Without water we cannot survive. So children, what's that picture you are looking at? Yes, yes, this is the picture of the water cycle. This is the picture of the water cycle. So the question may come into our mind that what is the meaning of this water cycle, right? So before studying this water cycle, let us know that new two terms which comes in a water cycle, that is evaporation and condensation. So the first one is evaporation. So evaporation is a process by which water gets converted from a liquid form to vapor form. So evaporation, it is a process where the water it gets converted into a vapor form. So where do you see the water being evaporated in your house? So children, when your mother is boiling a water, just observe the vessel on the stove. So what we'll observe here? We'll observe that some gas is coming out from the vessel. So that gas, it is contain a water droplets into it. So that is called the vapor. Understood? So what is evaporation? So evaporation is a process by which water gets converted from a liquid form to vapor form. So water is a liquid. So when the water is boiled, it becomes vapor. Here you can see, right? So these are the water vapors. So this is in the gaseous state, right? So these are the in the form of gas. So this process of changing water from liquid state to gaseous state, so from liquid state to gas state, so that process is called evaporation. Okay, so due to the heat, water boils, get evaporated and rises up, then the amount of water in the vessels also decreases. Understood? Now what happens to the water that has evaporated? So that is nothing but the condensation. So the condensation is the process by which water vapor turns into liquid. So the condensation means it is a process by which that water vapors which came here, right? So when we heat it, the water is get converted into vapor. So again that vapor it turns into liquid because of the coolness. So that is called the condensation. Okay, so here is one experiment for you. So take a small plastic bag, pour some water into it, tie the open end of the bag with a thread, place a plastic bag in the sun, observe the bag after 1 or 2 hours. Okay, what happened to the water in the bag? Yes, what do you see on the upper part of the bag after 1 or 2 hours? You may observe the water droplets on the upper part of the bag here. Okay, so this is called the condensation. So due to the heat of the sun, water gets evaporated, right? And starts rises up. Due to the cool air, water vapor turns into drops of water. So this process of changing water vapors into liquid, so liquid state is called condensation. Okay, here you can also try this experiment in the home. While your mother is boiling the water, okay, you may find the gases, that is the vapors. Okay, that is in the form of vapors. Just take any pan, okay, hold over this gas, you will find the water droplets on the surface of the pan. You will find the water droplets on the surface of the pan here. So that is nothing but the condensation. This is evaporation, and the water droplets on the pan, it is a condensation. Understood what is evaporation and what is condensation? So evaporation means It is a process by which water gets converted into a vapor form, whereas the condensation is a process by which water vapors turns into liquid. Understood what is the evaporation and condensation? Okay, now let's move to the another concept. Now after knowing what is evaporation and what is condensation, so now we'll move to the what is water cycle. So water in the water bodies, soil, plants and animals gets evaporated due to the heat of the sun. The evaporated form of water enters the air and rises up. It gets condensed by cool air, turns into droplets of water. The droplets of water form cloud. So when the clouds become cool due to the air, small droplets of water together become large droplets and they come down to the earth in the form of rain. So this is called the water cycle. Okay, now we'll explain you here. This is the water cycle. Already I have shown you at the starting of the lesson, right? So this is the water cycle. How it happened? So see here, the water in the water bodies, it is nothing but the sea, river, ocean, pond, lakes, dams, etc. Right? So the water in the water bodies and the water from the soil and the water from the plants and the water from the animals, they get evaporated. Here you can see the mark here, right? Can you see this arrow mark? So the water from the water bodies, soil, plants and animals, it get evaporated. So evaporated is nothing but the, yes, it is a process of changing water into vapor, right? So this is called the evaporation. So here what will happen, the water in the water bodies and soil, plants and animals, they get evaporated due to the heat of the sun, and the evaporated form of water, it will enters into the air and start rising up, and they start rising up, it gets condensed by the cool air. It will get condensed in the sense it is a process of changing that water vapors into the liquid again, right? So it will condense by cool air, turns into droplets of water, right? So that droplets of water form the clouds. So that droplets of water form the clouds here, right? So due to the cool air from droplets of water together become large. So when the clouds become too cool, when these clouds become too cool due to the cool air, the small droplets of water, they all together become a large droplets, and they come down to the earth in the form of rain. So this is called the water cycle. Understood, children? So what is water cycle? The water from the water bodies, soil, plants and animals, they get evaporated due to the heat of the sun, and that evaporated form of water, it will enter into the air and start rising up. So it gets condensed by cool air and it turns into droplets of water, right? So those droplets of water, they form the clouds. Yes, so when the clouds become cool due to the cool air, and that small droplets of water all together, they become a large droplets and come down in the form of rain, right? So this is called the water cycle. It is a continuous cycle. Okay, so when the water comes down in the form of rain, okay, they will flow from rivers, streams, sea and all. So from the sea, river, again it will evaporated, again it will get condensed, again it will come down in the form of rain. So it is like a continuous cycle. So water cycle is a continuous cycle. Understood, children, what is water cycle? Okay. Okay, the next one is uses of water. So already you know how we use the available water on the earth for our daily activities, right? So many activities that are depend on the water. For example, drinking, even for animals and human beings, the water is essential, right? So we use water for drinking, for washing hands, for watering plants, for washing utensils, for cleaning the house, for cleaning our toilets, and even for washing washing the vehicles and for cooking and washing the animals and clothes. Okay, for many things we need water, right? So water is not only used for the daily activities of living beings, but also it is very essential for agriculture purpose, right? For agriculture purpose we need a water to grow the crops. What we need a water. It is very essential for the industries. It is very essential. And water transportation, for construction of buildings we need water, and generation of hydroelectricity, for preparation of electricity, that is hydroelectricity, we need a water, right? So these are the some of the uses of water. So children, here is a one activity for you. Here what you have to do here, in the first column activities, what are the activities we can do by using the water? So there are many activities which can be done by using the water, such as washing the face, washing hands and legs, for bathing, for drinking, for washing vehicles, many activities which are depends on the water. So you have to list all those activities here, okay, in the first column. And in the second column, what you have to do, water used by me, how much water how much water you need for that activity. Okay, for example, see here, first one is a washing face. You need 2 mugs of water to wash your face, or even you can write in the form of bucket or the tumbler or the pot. Okay, so here in the next, this is the second column. In the third column, what you have to write, water used by others in the family. Here you have to write how much water is used by yourself only. And in the third column you have to write total total quantity of water used by your family. Here I have written 8 mugs. Okay, 8 mugs of water used by my family for washing the face. Okay, so here in the last column, in this is second, this is the, and the fourth column, you have to write the total amount of water, quantity of water used by your family. You can write in the form of bucket, mug, or in the form of pot. Understood, children? Okay, so now let's move to the one more concept, that is here, that how much total amount of water available on the earth, that how much water is available on the earth. So here salt just considered as 100%. Okay, the total 100 just considered as 100% of water, 100% water. So within 100%, the salt water or the sea water is about 97.2%. So on the earth we are having 97.2% of water, that is a salt water or the sea water. So it cannot be used. Can we use the salt water for drinking, for washing? No, we cannot use, right? It is a very salty. So 97.2% of water, it consists of sea water. And the remaining water, that is sweet water, in that sweet water, the 2% of water, it is in the form of ice. The 2% of water, which is a fresh water, or it is also called a sweet water. Okay, so it is in the form of ice. So this is in the solid form, right? So it cannot be used for daily activities. Can we wash our face by using ice? No. Can we drink ice? No, right? So this is in the form of solid. The ice is in the form of solid, so we cannot use it for our daily activities. Next, the remaining 1%. So the next remaining 1% of water, that is a suitable for use. So the remaining only 1% of water which we are using now. So within 100% and 97.2% water, it is a salty water which cannot be used, and the remaining within the remaining 3% of water, that is called the fresh water, the 2% of water, it is in the form of ice, that is also cannot be used, and the remaining only 1% of water which is suitable for use. So we have to use the water very carefully. So unnecessarily we are not supposed to waste the water. So sources of water, already you have learned about the sources of water in your previous classes. Okay, so which is the main source of water? Yes, which is the main source of water? Rain is the main source of water. So sources in the sense from where we get the water, from the well, from the tap, from the river, from the streams, from the lake, from the dams, from the reservoirs, even from here, okay, from the tap also, right? These are the some sources of water. From where we get the water? We get the water from the rain, well, tap, river, stream, lake, dam, reservoirs, etc. Okay, So next one is wastage of water. So see, unnecessarily we are wasting the water. How? From, see, while washing the clothes, we may waste unnecessarily water. And next one, while washing our face. And sometimes what we will do, we will open the tap and we will start talking with someone else. Yes, here it is there, right? So, and while drinking also we waste the water, and the whatever the water is come out from the house, it is also getting waste. So these are these some pictures where we can see there is a wastage of water, right? So how we can save this water? Yes, now the question may arise that how we can save this water. So you can save this water by, if you have seen any tap which is open, you can close it. Yes, you can close that tap, so you can save the water. And the second one is recycling of water. You can recycle the water. So how we can recycle the water now, right? So the water that is used for washing utensils, clothes and vegetables can be used again for watering the plants. Here you can see. Okay, so the water that is used for washing the utensils or washing the clothes and washing the vegetables, washing the vehicles, whichever it may be, so that water again can be, we can we can use that water for watering the plants. So this is called the recycling of water. So by recycling of water we can save the water, right? So what is recycling of water? The water that is used for washing utensils, clothes and vegetables can be used again for watering the plants. So this is called recycling of water. Okay, next method is how we can save the water. By rain harvesting. We can save the water through rain harvesting. What is rain harvesting? Rain harvesting is a technique of collection and storage of rainwater in storage tank. Here you can see the picture. This is a rainwater which is getting collected into the, here in the storage tank through the some connection of the pipes, right? So this is called the rain harvesting. So by through this rain harvesting, it can reduce the wastage of water. So we can reduce the wastage of water through this rain harvesting. So rain harvesting is a technique of collection of storage of rainwater in a storage tank. So we can collect the water through the pipes and we can store it in a storage tank. So this is called the rain harvesting. Okay, understood, children? So here is some interesting facts about the water. The first point is India has the richest water resource in the world. So the India has the richest water resource in the world. So our India, it consists of many water resources. The second point is the major portion of the fresh water available on the earth is in the form of ice. So the major portion of fresh water, in the 100%, 97% of water, it is a salty water. Okay, the remaining 3% of water, within the 3%, the 2% of water, it is in the form of ice water, whereas only 1% of water, it is suitable for use, right? So the major portion of the fresh water available on the earth is in the form of ice. So the next point is water in the air is in the vapor form. So the water droplets in the air, that is in the form of vapor, right? Already you know it. The next point is fish are reared to purify the water of reservoirs. So the fishes, they are reared to purify the water in the reservoirs. So the next point is water maintains the shape of the body of plants and animals. So the water maintains the shape of the body of animals, plants. Okay, so the animals as well as the plants, they need a water. Okay, so it maintains the water maintains the shape of the body of plants and animals. So therefore there is about 65% of water in the human body. So our body, it is made up of 65% of water. So our body needs 65% of water, and in other living beings it may be 40 to 90%, and in leaves water is more than 80%. So our body, human body, it needs 65% of water, whereas some other living beings, they may need 40 to 90% of water, whereas the plant leaves, they need 80% of water. The next point is we should drink at least 2 liters of water every day. So we should drink at least 2 liters of water every day. It is must. So we all should drink at least 2 liters of water every day. Okay, so the next point is Monsoon Ram in Assam receives the highest rainfall in India. So the Monsoon Ram, it is the name of the place in Assam which receives the highest rainfall in the India. The question may ask you in the exam, name the place which receives the highest rainfall in India. So the Monsoon Ram in Assam receives the highest rainfall in India. Okay, in Karnataka, Agumbe, okay, Agumbe receives the highest rainfall in Karnataka. So in Karnataka, the Agumbe, it is the name of the place. This Agumbe, it receives the highest rainfall in Karnataka. Understood, children? So children, in this class we have learnt about water cycle and what are the terms comes in water cycle, like evaporation, condensation, right? So then we have learned the sources of water, right, and wastage of water, and how we can save the water, and the importance of recycling and the rain harvesting, isn't it? Okay, so hope you understood all the lessons very well, children.